Example 3, calculating standard deviation using the shortcut formula. Now we're going to use the sample standard deviation formula to find the standard deviation of these space mountain wait time minutes. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is the following. We're going to make a table. And so in that table, we're going to list those times. So in those times, in step 2, we're going to find the sum of those wait times, which is the sum of the data values. Remember, x represents the data values. So when we add up all those, that gives us the sum of x, which is equal to 430. Okay? So let me go ahead and highlight that. So remember, the sum of x is adding up all these values to give us 430. Now, in step 3, we need to find the sum of the wait times squared, which we need to take each value of x and then squaring it. So if we take the value of 50 and then square it, then we're going to get 2,500. Likewise, if we take 25 and square that, we get 625. So again, taking the data value of 25, squaring it, and that gives us 625. Next, we're going to take the data value, which is 75, square it to get 5,625. Next, we're going to take the value of 35, squaring that to give us 1,225. Take the value of 50, we're going to square that to give us 2,500. Again, we know some of these are repetitive, so 25 squared gives us 625. 30 squared gives us 900. And then 50 squared gives us 2,500. And then let's finish that up. So we have 45 squared gives us 2,025. 25 squared gives us 625. And 20 squared gives us 400. Okay, and so now in this column, we want to find the sum of all of those. So we're going to add up all of these numbers to get a total of the sum of x squared, which is 19,550. Now what we're going to do is now we're going to substitute these values. So we're going to need all these values. So we know that the number of data values that we have in our data set is 11. We know that the sum of the first column is equal to 430, and the sum of the x squared is 19,550. And now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into our formula. So remember, n, all the values of n, we're plugging in 11. Okay? And then we also know that the sum of x squared here is 19,550. And then we also know that the sum of x is 430. And then we need to square that and then divide it by that result. So let me show you how to do this on a calculator and how to separate it using parentheses, because it's really important if you're doing this calculation by parentheses. So we're going to take the second square root symbol. Okay, we're going to apply the left parenthesis, and then we're going to apply another one because we want to put this entire thing in parentheses. And then we're going to take 11, and then parenthesis, or we can just go ahead and do that. And then put that in parentheses, 19,550. And then that's going to be minus, and then left parenthesis, 430. And then we're going to square that. Okay. Now we need to close the parenthesis because we started a parenthesis out here. So we close that now. Now we can apply the division symbol here. And now we're going to have another parenthesis, and then an additional parenthesis, and then this 11 in parentheses, and then in parentheses we have 11 minus 1, close that parenthesis, and then add another parenthesis. And now we're going to press enter. When we press enter, you're going to see that we get 16.5556 like we did before. And now we're going to round this, again, 1 decimal further than our data set, which would be to the 10th place. And therefore we get 16.6 minutes. So again, in step 5, we would round our result. So we'd say that the standard deviation of these Space Mountain wait times minutes is 16.6 minutes.